is just how you kind of force your space when it comes to playing the heavy, because you can't always just rely on like, oh, I'm going to survive a really long time because I'm big and heavy and he can't kill me. It's like, well, when you're confronted with the Shotoism, that requires you to be able to have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to that game plan, and we see that amazingly off the start from Krugbo when it comes to the blunderbuss, trying to space out that forward air, showing off the counter early so that SmurfPoster has to keep it in mind. Play with the buttons a little bit, make the Shoto player work.
Oh, yeah, definitely a very smart counter from Krugbo. Obviously, not getting too much off of it, but then, like you said, too, keeping it in their mind, saying, like, hey, man, I'm ready to get out of these combos. You're not getting this for free. We are scrapping this game. Obviously, Krugbo doing a fantastic job of scrubbing so far, but these pairs are already going off like last set.
Hey, man, it's every time you get a parry, you get 3 frames of advantage. Oh, careful, though, with that rising down air there from Krugbo in a solid percentage lead. Ooh, the coverage there from Krugbo, recognizing that all of K-Rool's aerials are single hit. So focus is going to prove is going to have a lot of importance here in this matchup. But not if you got your auto cancel windows on lock and then continuing to apply the punishment. Let's see if SmurfPoster is able to close out this stock with the roundhouse kick. He sure is. That's going to bring us to 2 stocks apiece. And honestly, Momo, I have a feeling that percent differences aren't going to have as much importance in a set like this.
Yeah, I'm loving how these two are kind of matching each other up right now. Like, obviously, SmurfPoster dealing with the projectiles, with the parry, fighting a big conversion already.
He missed his dash forward up air, so all he was getting was the up air, not the Shoryuken. That is unfortunate, I say, as Krugbo takes 92. Ooh. And then immediately takes the stocks with that down air. Clean stuff, recognizing that the blunderbuss and the suck-in is always going to have a... I can't even finish the thought.
Nasty.
Both of these two just clicking on all cylinders, clicking and firing on all cylinders.
Against all odds, against the talks of the meta being in the sewer right now, these two are pressing buttons. They're pressing buttons. I love Arcadians.
We love mashers here. We support button pressers.
I'm a button presser myself.
Ooh. That time he didn't. He missed the jump in.
Oh, the crown! Dude, this crown is doing so much for Krugbo right now. Facing out that shield against SmurfPoster, of course, trying to find the ledge trap here. Krugbo doing a fantastic job playing at the ledge, of course. That down tilt into roundhouse kick. Going to take game number 1 for SmurfPoster.
Again, another parry on the ledge. But in the same vein, it felt like Krugbo was trying to pressure block or trying to anticipate the parry by changing up the timings, and as well as having the crown there on the reversal. As we see, tosses the crown, powers through the Hadouken, the crown comes back, he collects it. Like, just some general timing changes up, but SmurfPoster just had the lock. It's like, all right, you're going to get up attack here. I'm going to kill you for it, and we're going to go into the next game. This Ken looking real good right now. Especially been loving the combo game after throws.
Yeah, I'm loving the Ken here playing, you know, instead of not opting for the Ryu, playing of the projectile game against a character like Ryu, saying, like Rool said, saying like, hey, I can play back here. I can use the parry against his crown. Obviously, I can match that energy when you run into my face, like as we've seen Krugbo doing so often. But of course, Krugbo has got some punches of his own, and these two are just going back and forth, trading blows like there's no tomorrow.
Shoutouts to some of these combo routes that SmurfPoster has been doing as well, like going up tilts into forward tilts to try and extend, to continue to extend horizontally, looking for back airs, looking for ways to consistently force Krugbo off stage, but now he's the one off stage with the falling there. The second hit is going to do it. Too far for any Shoryuken without a jump especially, and Krugbo once again coming out to an early lead.
This is the thing you got to realize too, being in winners finals, you need to punish every single disadvantage your opponent has. Hey, can they reuse recoveries are kind of exploitable. Krugbo taking that to the full extent, and of course throwing it right back in Krugbo's face. Golly, 2 stocks apiece for both these players. What a big focus attack. Oh, but not fighting. Still extending this combo. Oh my, the grab? Hello?
Big body follow-up. Sometimes, like, all right, I'm getting these up tilts, I'm getting these proximity jabs. Well, I can grab off of this and just wait and build and build damage. It doesn't matter what the follow-up is for SmurfPoster. The win condition is absolutely there.
Oh yeah, doing a fantastic job. Of course, K-Rool looking like the combo food he is, right? Like, this is getting ridiculous. SmurfPoster.
waits out the counter. You showed it off early, but SmurfPoster adapts, waiting out the counter. So now you got to see Krugbo starting to go for nairs when they're not true combo breaks.
Oh my!
And instead, he went for another counter, and again, SmurfPoster punishing him dearly for it. That's how you draw it up. All right, you played your trump card, like get out of jail, like get this counter off early. Explode for it. You exploded for a game too, whether it be with 31 or 32% combos, or you die. That's how you draw it up if you're SmurfPoster.
See, that's the thing. That's the dichotomy there. Of you use that counter early to try to bait, to try to make SmurfPoster scared. But then on the other side of the coin, you're like, wait a minute. Like I know you're gonna counter here, so I can just wait it out. That's what he did. And SmurfPoster, of course, finding so much damage off his combos. Krugbo is just struggling to keep up right now.
Another counter, but not in the same position that it was before. So Krugbo can still get away with them a few times. But I really want to see Krugbo like start to play more with like forward air or back air, whatever the side it may be, out of some of those combos, because it seems like SmurfPoster has been waiting a whole lot more. The Shoryuken isn't going to close out the stock, so you have an opportunity to play into that game plan. Okay.
Like, obviously, I'm a fan of how aggressive this K-Rool plays, but you gotta take a second and realize I'm fighting Ken. I can't keep doing this. I need to use that projectile and keep it away from me. Like, SmurfPoster is just taking advantage because Krugbo keeps jumping into him. Like, there you go again.
He's trying. He's trying for sure. The block comes up yet again, and the dash attack on the get-up. Not going to close out the stock quite yet. But there it is. Very nice placement and timing on that down air to keep things in check. 72%. We keep talking about the heavy tax, but the heavy tax doesn't matter if you're getting your counters read time and time and time again.
The heavy tax is a thing, but, you know, honestly, Ken, we've heard from Street Fighter 6, he likes committing tax fraud.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's taking a lot of these stocks really, really early. We talk about Yoshi, but man, 10 is just, golly, dude.
Ken might be the financial wonder that we've got to work on as another counter read. Please, Krugbo, I'm begging you, stop. We want to see a game number 3 at the very least, but we're not going to see anything close to that unless you get your disadvantage back on lock.
Yeah,
and there it is, jabbing to Shoryu. Not going to close out the stock, but writing's on the wall here, Momo.
Yeah, like Krugbo is getting punished so hard for playing so aggressively. Oh my god.
They're called out.
Yeah, you know, Krugbo, there's one thing to take away from that set. You know, those K-Rool players that we were talking about earlier that played really defensively and played really lame, sometimes you should take a note out of their book, because approaching a character like Ken so often is not the greatest idea.
It's not the way. And
absolutely not.
I like how SmurfPoster, man, like I'm just so impressed by every facet of his game. I think his ground game was impressive. His ability to, or his realization and game plan for K-Rool, like, oh, okay, like K-Rool's got a lot of single hit aerials, and that's how he extends most of the time. Very few multi-hits across the board. So focus is going to prove so, it's going to have so much power in a matchup like this. I need to find many ways to extend my combos because initial hits aren't going to necessarily guarantee. I've got to find resets. Well, it's a good thing Krugbo gave a very obvious habit right from the get-go, which is counter out of disadvantage. Like just awareness, breakdown, and close out with those with the win condition that Ken always has accessibility to, which is that down tilt or that proximity jab or whatever it is that combos into a big finisher like down air or like Shoryuken, and something is happening downstairs.
I want to know what that is.
Let's take a peek at losers bracket. So
it's getting a little crazy down there.
We've got Ziglet and Reed playing in losers round 3, which is top 8. So Ziglet will try and break his 7th place curse. Reed being a very impressive Aegis player. Yeah. And the Kazuya doesn't stop there because Weezer is also punched his ticket into top 8, who we will be seeing next up against the winner of Dar and Lust.
Dar and Lust.
I know Lust is a Bayonetta player.
Would not be an Arcadian without a Bayo player.
No, of course not. There's been a lot of Bayo players in general.
Oh, yeah. Like, the rise of Bayo, I'm not sure if I'm a fan. Are you a fan?
I like Bayo to an extent. I think Bayonetta can be a very flexible character to watch, especially given the present metagame is centered around a lot of very linear but hard to interact with game plans, and Bayonetta's game plan kind of changes character to character, especially because of how she can position herself very vastly. And I think a lot of Bayonetta players play the character very differently when it comes to Amaryllis versus Girly Teen Queen versus Deathspade versus Lima. Like, you're seeing a very different wave of how they operate, and it matches up into a lot of players pretty well overall. Generally a fan of the character when they are not, since they're not ridiculously overtuned anymore.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. You put it that way. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.